So now it's being made official and canonical that Superman is bisexual. This is not Clark Kent. This is John Kent, the son of Clark Kent. So, what to make of all this? Well, with Venom, I thought that was very weird and extremely out of character to even put him in near kind of queer territory. I mean, technically, it's the symbiote that acts gay, not Eddie Brock, but I still think it's pretty stupid and silly. And I actually don't have a lot of hopes for this story either. It also sounds pretty stupid and silly, but there are major differences. And a lot of the usual channels are getting outraged that Superman is bisexual, it's getting political, social justice, blah, blah, blah. And it seems to me they just don't know the character very much because Superman is pretty unique that we've had so many different versions of him. They've even made him getting married an event quite a few times in his history. So you can't have it both ways. If him having a romantic relationship with Lois was turned into a TV series and has been a prominent part of his storyline in several issues, even entire stories, well, you really can't get upset then if they're going to do something different with the sexuality. And you can't say, well, I don't like Superman being political. I mean, Superman fought the KKK and he fought Nazis. And he's always preaching a message of tolerance and America should allow immigrants in, and etc., etc., etc. So the character has always had a very strong, quote unquote, social justice frame or bent. So again, either these people don't know the comic or are only selectively remembering what happened with the character's history. And we have so many different varieties of Superman. We have so many different versions, so many different iterations that on the whole, this is not that upsetting because if they're going to do that, I think though I do agree that this feels very silly and trendy. There's really no substance to it. It's being done by Tom Taylor. I've never heard of this writer, but apparently he's been doing writing for some time. And he's saying that this is a white savior problem. Well, he himself is a white writer, so it just feels really stupid and silly. But again, I think there are different levels with Venom. It really feels like they're just violating the canon for no reason to just keep changing him over and over again. But Superman is very different that they've changed the entire canon quite a few times during his run, right? At one time, he used to kill normally. He just killed criminals regularly. And then later versions, he doesn't kill at all, only in extreme situations. Superman's a very tough case. So I would say this, as long as it's fine that other versions can be heterosexual and or they can change John Kent back to being heterosexual, right? It's just a choice. It's just one of many different story choices. Then, I don't like it, but I don't see too much reason to be upset. Now, I'm a much more Spider-Man expert than Superman expert. But again, as far as I know from the comic book history, this isn't that weird or offensive because again, the character has been changed so many different ways, right? He's been born in the Soviet Union. He kills in past comic books. He's even Batman in several different versions. So again, Superman is a flexible character that they've had so many different versions of. But yeah, maybe there's a political agenda or commercial agenda, but that's always been true with Superman. I mean, it's just very strange to get upset over this, especially where Wonder Woman has been kissing women for quite some time. These same people who complain about this, they don't seem to care about that either. Or about Harley Quinn kissing Poison Ivy, they don't seem to care about that either. So again, there's a lot of inconsistency in terms of outrage. So I think the best one is to go with the canon. And the canon with Superman does allow different versions. So I don't think it's a good idea. I think it is being done just for silly nonsense reasons, but it is much different with Superman. But I think with Robin or Venom, those characters are more established with a central canon. And when you change those characters in those situations, yeah, I think that's very strange and very weird. But Superman can kind of accommodate many different changes, and you don't really, quote, violate the centrality of the character. So there we are. But again, I don't like it, but I don't see a super big reason to be upset. Again, it's Superman is a very unique case, so I think you have to be careful in terms of how you're approaching this. Is it reason to celebrate? No, I don't know. Is it? Is it really going to help transgender violence or things like that? I have my doubts, and I don't know this writer that well. From what I've done my research on, he doesn't seem like a particularly good writer, so it just doesn't feel like an inspired story. It just feels something that's very trendy and hip and just being done for very shallow reasons. But again, it is a bit apples and oranges when you're dealing with Superman, at least in my opinion. There we are with the quote unquote new queer Superman. Thanks for listening.